The NASCAR Xfinity Series is going playoff racing this weekend. In this video, we are going to go over the 12 drivers in the playoff field, look at their 2025 seasons, talk about stats, points, all that fun stuff, and then preview the 3 racetracks inside of the round of 12, talking about who I think is going to make the round of 8. Starting off with Connor Zilisch, we have had an absolute dominant rookie season from Connor here. 9 wins, of course, one of those assisted by Parker Kligerman, 17 top 10s, 15 of those top 5s, 7 pole positions. He has an average start and an average finish inside of the top 10. 39.3 average points per race, has led 750 laps, and he finished first in the regular season point standings. Of course, we already know Connor will be running in a Trackhouse Cup Series car next year. This is going to be his only chance at winning the Xfinity Series title. He is definitely the favorite. Definitely looking to join that category of guys like Chase Elliott, William Byron, Tyler Reddick that won the Xfinity Series championship for Junior Motorsports in their rookie seasons. Second, we have Justin Allgaier here, always up front and competitive. 3 wins, 12 top 5s with 15 top 10s. No pole positions, but a very strong 7.1 average start. A bit of a drop off to his average finish though, 13.2. That is 6 positions there, so 7 car not finishing races as good as he's starting them. 35.7 his average points per race. He's almost led the same amount of laps this year as Connor Zilisch, 723 for the 7 car. He finished second in regular season points. Looking to defend his title here in 2025, of course, winning the championship last year for the first time. It's going to be a great battle between the 88 and the 7 car all the way down to Phoenix. I expect both of those guys to be in contention in the championship 4. Third seed, we have Sam Mayer. 1 win on the season, but 12 top 5s. This 41 car has been near the front the entire season. 7.4 his average start. Also a bit of a drop off here to a 10.6 average finish with 1 pole. 33.9 points per race, but has not been leading as much, only 138 laps led. This car has been in that 2 to 5 range though almost all season, scoring a lot of stage points. We already know that Haas is going to be moving to Chevrolet next year. Sam Mayer knows he's sticking with the team. I think they're going to be going all out in the playoffs here. I expect that 41 to be a dark horse contender for the championship this year. Fourth seed, we have 4th in the regular season standings, Jesse Love. 1 win this season, that came at the season opener. 8 top 5s, but 15 top 10s. This 2 car, again, has been circling around the front almost the entire season. 3 pole positions, a 9.0 average start, 10.8 average finish. Has led over 200 laps, 32.5 points per race. This 2 car can definitely go on a deep playoff run here. I think if you're trying to get that first win, that's not at a drafting style track. He's shown a lot of speed, a few second place finishes. I think that's probably the goal more than winning a championship here, but I expect that 2 car to go on a deep run this season. 5th seed, we have Brandon Jones, and this was probably the guy who needed this the most after 2 tough seasons, missing the playoffs both years at Junior Motorsports. He gets linked back up with Joe Gibbs Racing, where he's had success in the past. 1 at Darlington, punched his ticket in here. 7th in the regular season standings as well, so the 20 car has had a lot of speed with Jones behind the wheel. Been a strong qualifier, 10.9 average start. Again, a bit of a drop off here to the average finish, a 15.0, so average finish inside the top 15. Has led just under 100 laps. If you're Jones, I think you're relieved to be here and probably expect yourself to get through at least the first round into the round of 8. Who knows what happens after that, but Jones back in the playoffs after a 2-year absence. The 6th seed is Sammy Smith. 1 win on the season, that came at Rockingham. 5 top 5s, 13 top 10s. 1 pole on the season as well, 14.7 his average finish. Has only led 62 laps. Of course, his teammates have really dominated this category. 10th in the regular season standings though, so a little bit behind where those other JRM cars were. I hate to make this comparison, but the same sponsor, he just reminds me of a Michael Annett. You look, he's running 6th or 7th. You don't really think he's going to win a lot of races, but he's always in the conversation there, ready to capitalize if things happen. Been a good fit at Junior Motorsports here after coming over from Joe Gibbs Racing. Next up, we have another rookie here, Nick Sanchez in the 48 car. 1 win coming at Atlanta, 6 top 5s and 9 top 10s. Been a very strong qualifier, 11.1 his average start. Average finish though, 7 positions worse at 18.2. So been struggling to finish races in this 48 car. 73 laps led, 23.9 his average points per race. I think Parker Kligerman built a lot with this team. Nick Sanchez has obviously carried that on. Got them victory lane, something Parker Kligerman could not do. Definitely great for this team to be back in the playoffs. I think Sanchez is kind of playing with house money here. I don't really think a lot of people expected him to make the round of 12. Will be interesting to see what he can do going into the playoff run here. Next up, we have another rookie, Taylor Gray. This is the first seed that is not of a winner. No wins for Taylor Gray this year. 6 top 5s, 11 top 10s. 3 poles, though, been a very strong qualifier. 10.3 his average start. Hasn't fallen off as much, though. 13.0 his average finish. 26.1 his average points per race. Has led almost 200 laps. Was 8th in the regular season point standings. Been a very strong rookie year for Taylor Gray. Definitely looking for that first win more than a championship, I think, this season. Definitely something to build off of for them, though, going into these final few weeks. Looking for that first win in the 54 car. The fourth and final JRM driver, another rookie, Carson Kvapil. 0 wins, 5 top 5s, 12 top 10s. 11.1 his average start, 14.3 on the average finish. 28.0 his average points per race. He was 7 in the regular season point standings. Has led 64 laps. Reminds me a lot of his dad. I remember Travis having some really good runs with that Yates team as it was on its way out in 2008. You look, and Kvapil's always right there around 5th place, running strong. Same as Taylor Gray. I think he's probably more looking at winning a race here rather than winning a championship, but I can see this one car going on a deep run if everything clicks for them. Sheldon Creed, only 5 top 5s, but 12 top 10s, not as high as his teammate Sam Mayer, but has also been running really strong. 1 pole position, 11.7 his average start, 17.5 his average finish. Been struggling to finish races in this 00 car. 25.7 his average points per race. He has led 92 laps, 9th in the regular season point standings. I'm definitely on team Sheldon Creed winning the championship before he wins a race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I think that would be hilarious. This poor guy has had so many second place finishes. He's bound to get a win in one of these races. Sheldon Creed definitely a contender for the Final Four if everything clicks for that 00 team. How about Harrison Burton in the AM Racing 25 car making the playoffs here? Just 2 top 5s, but 9 top 10s. Average start 17.0, so been a struggle qualifying for this car, but has moved up to a 14.1 average finish. The only of the playoff drivers that have improved on their average start to their average finish. 24.7 his average points per race. Has only led 27 laps, but was 11th in the regular season point standings, pointing his way in after a great battle with his cousin Jeb. A good battle of the Burtons there. I think it's great for this 25 car to be in the playoffs. As I talked about Haas moving to Chevrolet, not a whole lot of Fords left in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You gotta wonder if they're going to get some increased support from Ford next year. In that case, this could be a real building year for this team. They made the playoffs, can really go in on it next year. Excited to see what that 25 car can do in the playoffs. I don't expect them to go on a deep run or anything. Great for Harrison Burton to get himself in the playoffs here, though. And our last seed is Austin Hill. You might be wondering why he's so far down despite having 3 wins and being 5th in the regular season point standings. As part of his penalty for the wreck with Eric Almirola at Indianapolis, he gave up all of his playoff points, so he is the bottom seed here. 3 wins, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s. This 21 car is fast almost everywhere we go. I could honestly see him being a guy like Justin Allgaier, in this series for a long time, racking up a couple wins per year, being a championship contender. Needs to clean a couple things up, though. Nonetheless, though, this 21 car is going to be a contender for the championship. 30.7 is average points per race. 306 laps led, that is 3rd best in the series. 12.8 average finish. This 21 car, Austin Hill behind the wheel, is always fast. You got to look out for him. All right, let's take a look at the past playoff experience for these drivers here. First up, we have Justin Allgaier. He has ran in all 9 playoffs in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. That's even counting the 1 year it was branded as the Chase back in 2016. His best result, of course, his championship last year in 2024. Brandon Jones, 6 playoff appearances. He was also in the inaugural Chase for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His best result is the round of 8. He has made it there 3 times. It came 3 years in a row. 2020, 2021, 2022, in Joe Gibbs Racing stuff before he went to JRM in 23. Both Sam Mayer and Austin Hill have made the playoffs in 3 seasons. They have both made a Final Four appearance. Sam Mayer in 2023, Austin Hill last year in 2024. Sammy Smith has made the playoffs twice the past 2 seasons. In both years, he made it into the round of 8. Both Harrison Burton and Sheldon Creed with 2 playoff appearances both have made the round of 8 once. I should mention in 2020, Harrison Burton won 2 of the 3 races in the round of 8 after being eliminated in the round of 12. Jesse Love with 1 playoff appearance that came last year in his rookie season. He made it to the round of 8. The 4 drivers without any playoff experience are, of course, our 4 rookies in the playoffs this year: Carson Kvapil, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray, and Connor Zilisch. 2 Junior Motorsports cars, and then 1 Joe Gibbs Racing car. So some really good teams with some rookie drivers here. Can totally see some of these guys going on a pretty deep run this year and taking out some more experienced drivers that we just talked about. I wanted to quickly look at the playoff turnover between 2024 and 2025. This is much different than the Cup Series though, because the 6 drivers who were in last year and are out this year, none of them are running for points in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this year. Cole Custer, AJ Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, and Shane Van Gisbergen, all 4 of those drivers moving up to the NASCAR Cup Series this year. Parker Kligerman retiring from full-time driving to focus more on his TV duties, and then Chandler Smith in the 81 car dropping down to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As you can see, that makes it pretty easy for our 4 rookies to step in and take some of those spots. The other drivers, as I've mentioned, Brandon Jones missing the playoffs the past 2 series with Junior Motorsports, and then Harrison Burton was full-time in the Cup Series in 2024, where he made the playoffs with Wood Brothers Racing. So here's what the playoff grid is looking like after the points reset. This is where they will be standing going into Bristol this weekend. Connor Zilisch with a plus 59 over the cut line. That's pretty much a full race. 88 car been stacking those playoff points throughout the regular season here. They are in a very good spot. Same can be said for Justin Allgaier, plus 30 to the cut line. I would say the 88 and the 7 car are both pretty safe here, bearing like 2 DNFs, honestly. But once you get to Sam Mayer in 3rd, he is only 11 up on the cut line, so very close between the drivers from 3rd on back. Mayer plus 11, Jesse Love, Brandon Jones both plus 8. Sammy Smith 4 up on the cut line, and then you get to Taylor Gray. He is actually tied with Carson Kvapil for the final playoff position, so going to be a good battle between those guys right away when we get going at Bristol. Sheldon Creed 2 back on the cut line, Harrison Burton minus 3, and then as we mentioned, Austin Hill losing all his playoff points as a result of that penalty. He is minus 5. Hill would be comfortably in 3rd place here, close to Justin Allgaier and way ahead of Sam Mayer without that penalty. It's definitely a huge blow for that 21 car going into the playoffs. Something I thought was pretty interesting was all 12 of these guys in the playoffs were inside the top 12 in points, so we didn't have any winners from below 12th that knocked someone out, which I thought was pretty interesting. You usually have 1 or 2 guys that are able to win a race at, say, a road course or a drafting style track that knocks someone out. In this case, all 12 drivers inside of the top 12. Nick Sanchez in 12th place. He, of course, was a race winner this year, the lowest race winner in points in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Justin Allgaier, 54 points behind Connor Zilisch, the only driver with a 2-digit number by that minus once you get to 3rd on back, over 100 points behind Connor Zilisch. 4th place, Jesse Love, 2 full races in points behind Zilisch, and it just keeps getting worse after that. Austin Hill, 3 full races in points behind him. 88 car, been very dominant in the regular season. Going to be interesting to see if he can carry on this dominance into the playoffs. Let's break down those points a little bit more, starting off with stage points. Pretty interesting here, the 88 car not at the top of this category. Justin Allgaier scoring over 60 more stage points than Connor Zilisch this year. Of course, Zilisch missed a race at Texas, had Parker Kligerman jump in and help him at Daytona. Nonetheless, the 7 car dominant in this category, a great lead, over 100 up on 3rd place Sam Mayer. 189 stage points, it's a lot of stage points for that 41 car. Sam has been running up front pretty much everywhere, like I said. Pales in comparison to these JRM cars though. Everyone on this list over 100 stage points earned, except for Harrison Burton down there in 12, just 47 stage points for the 25 car. All season Burton has been hanging around the top 10, so when he gets stage points, it's usually in 9th or 10th position. Only 1 or 2 stage points for that, so doesn't earn a whole lot of stage points in that 25 car. But he was over 20 points ahead of Nick Sanchez in the regular season point standings, despite the fact Sanchez almost earned 100 more stage points than he did. So the 25 car finishing races a lot more than Nick Sanchez in the 48. Another category where the 7 car comes out on top in stage wins. He just took this over from Connor Zilisch at Gateway. 10 stage wins for the 7 car, 1 more than Connor Zilisch at 9. As we talked about, 3rd place Austin Hill, 6 stage wins, so that's 6 playoff points right there. Plus the 15 he would have gotten for his 3 wins, never mind the points he would have earned for finishing top 10 in the regular season points. Austin Hill throwing away over 20 playoff points here. 6 stage wins for that 21 car, the only guy really keeping the JRM guys honest in this one. Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith all winning 3 stages. Taylor Gray and Harrison Burton with 2 stage wins. That's right, 20 of Harrison Burton's 47 stage points have come in just 2 stages that he won. Jesse Love, Carson Kvapil, Sheldon Creed, and Nick Sanchez all winning 1 stage. All 12 playoff drivers winning a stage at different points in time in the 2025 season. Alright, finally it is time to preview the 3 tracks inside of the round of 12. Those 3 tracks starting off at Bristol, then going to Kansas, and then the Charlotte Roval is the cut race here in the first round. A great diversity of tracks here. We got a short track, we got a mile and a half, and we got a road course. It's going to be a very entertaining first round here. Starting off at Bristol, taking a look at the best finish. Justin Allgaier, a two-time winner here. The only driver in the playoff field to have won at Bristol in the Xfinity Series. Got a handful of guys, though, who have finished second. Rookie Carson Kvapil, who did that earlier this year. Sheldon Creed and Brandon Jones. Austin Hill with a best run of third place at Bristol. Harrison Burton has finished fourth twice. I'm just going to say it now so I don't have to keep repeating it. Every single stat from Harrison Burton from this point on in the video has come when he was in a JGR car. So take all these with a grain of salt. He is obviously not in that level of equipment here in the 25 car. Jesse Love, Sammy Smith, and Sam Mayer all also grabbing top 10 finishes at Bristol in the past. Connor Zilisch finished 12th here earlier in the season. Nick Sanchez finished 16th, and Taylor Gray 19th. To the average finish category now, Carson Kvapil leading this one. Again, a little bit misleading. He has only ran one race here at Bristol. How about Jesse Love, though, with an average finish inside the top 5 with a 5.0. Harrison Burton and Sammy Smith both knocking on the door of a sub-10 average finish. Burton with a 10.2, Sammy Smith 10.5. Allgaier slightly ahead of Connor Zilisch here, an 11.4 to a 12.0. Brandon Jones right behind those guys at 12.3. And then Sam Mayer, the only other driver inside of the top 15. 18.5 the average finish for Austin Hill here at Bristol, so has struggled to finish races in that 21 car. Taylor Gray, Sheldon Creed, and Nick Sanchez, all with an average finish of around 20th. Nick Sanchez has made 2 starts here, one of those coming in 2022. Kvapil again on top of the points per race here in 44 points in his one visit here. Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier, though, both above 40. I should mention Justin Allgaier has made 25 starts here. I'm only counting the points per race from the races in the stage racing era, so 2017 onwards. I think it's kind of hard to compare things before they gave out those extra 20 points. Zilisch with 36 points in his run here earlier this season, so despite finishing in 12th, earned a lot of stage points. Harrison Burton, Sammy Smith both above 30. Sam Mayer and Brandon Jones just below 30 in the 29s, and then a big drop off to Austin Hill at 21 in the 21 car. Sheldon Creed, Taylor Gray, and Nick Sanchez have all struggled to score more than 20 points here at Bristol. We move on to Kansas, the second race of the round of 12. Top of this list, Brandon Jones has won twice at Kansas, the only driver in the playoff field to win here as well. Kansas is probably Brandon Jones' best track in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, so definitely plays to his benefit having this in the first round here. Justin Allgaier has a runner-up finish. Sheldon Creed, Harrison Burton, Connor Zilisch, and Austin Hill all with top 5 finishes. Austin Hill with 2 of those. Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer, and Jesse Love have all finished in the top 10 here. Carson Kvapil, Nick Sanchez, and Taylor Gray have never ran a race at Kansas. To the average finish stat here, again, we have a driver who has only made 1 start at Kansas, Connor Zilisch, a 4.0 his average finish. Sheldon Creed, though, 6.3, one of many drivers with an average finish below 10th. Austin Hill, 7.3, Brandon Jones, 8.9, and Jesse Love, a 9.0, also coming in his 1 start here last year. Justin Allgaier has made 15 starts at Kansas with a 12.2 average finish. Sam Mayer, the only other driver inside the top 20 at 16.7. Harrison Burton and Sammy Smith, both below 20. To the points per race, again, we see Connor Zilisch towards the top of this thanks to his 4th place run here last year. How about Brandon Jones, second in this category, though? 36.6. 20 car has been scoring a lot of stage points and running up front whenever we come to Kansas. Sheldon Creed in the top 3 for all 3 of these categories here, 36.3 his average points per race, just a bit ahead of his teammate Austin Hill with a 35.7. Justin Allgaier, the only other driver above 30th, with a 32.3. The final 4 drivers to have run a race at Kansas here, Jesse Love, Harrison Burton, Sam Mayer, and Sammy Smith, all pretty close here between 28 and 23. Going to be a very competitive race at Kansas, all these guys with very similar stats to one another. It feels a little misleading to have a chart not including the 3 rookies who have yet to race at Kansas, so what I did was look at their results from the 4.5-mile races that have been run in 2025 and compiled their stats. Carson Kvapil has one top 10 that came at Homestead, average finish of 15.7, he's earned just under 25 points per race at 24.7. Nick Sanchez with 2 top 10s including a 3rd place run at Charlotte, he has the best average finish of these 3 drivers, a 12.75, with an average points per race of exactly 30. Taylor Gray with only 1 race better than 19th, that was a 2nd place run at Texas where he scored 36 points. However, despite poor finishes at Charlotte, Las Vegas, and Homestead, he earned some stage points in all 3 of these races. 18.75 his average finish, but 24 his average points per race, not far off from Carson Kvapil. Interesting though to see the 48 car with the best numbers out of these three guys, considering he's going up against a Joe Gibbs Racing car and a Junior Motorsports car that have pretty much dominated this series this season. And last but not least, we have the Charlotte Roval, which will be the cut race for the round of 12. Sam Mayer has won here 2 years in a row. Definitely his best track on the circuit. Definitely looking to go 3 in a row for that 41 car. Only 3 other drivers getting inside the top 5 here though. Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, and Brandon Jones. Both Allgaier and Jones have run every single running of the Charlotte Roval since it came on the schedule in 2018. Sammy Smith and Sheldon Creed both getting inside of the top 10 here. Harrison Burton with a best result of 13th. Jesse Love, the only other driver to have run a race here, that was last year. He finished in 19th position. To the average finish now, Sam Mayer inside the top 5 with a 4.3 across his 4 starts here. Sammy Smith very close to a sub 10. His 2 results here have been a 10th place and an 11th place finish. Justin Allgaier and Brandon Jones both with a 14.3. Jesse Love, Austin Hill, the RCR teammates almost identical, 19.0 versus 19.2. Then you have Harrison Burton and Sheldon Creed both outside of the 20s on this one. Very close from third on back, so should be a pretty good battle here, especially the fact it's going to be a cut race. When you go to the average points per race, Sam Mayer with a 41.2. That is almost 10 points per race better than second place Justin Allgaier in the 7 car. Sammy Smith also above 30 in this category, 31.0. Pretty equal between Brandon Jones, Jesse Love, and Sheldon Creed. A bit of a drop off to Austin Hill at 21.8, the only other driver above 20. Harrison Burton with a 19.0. It's the road course that doesn't really race like a road course, right? You got those big banked corners when you get to the oval side. Really difficult to hit your marks here and have a clean race. That's going to be the big thing for all of these guys. Very easy for calamity to come in at the Charlotte Roval. Same with the Kansas deal, it kind of felt hard to assess that with 4 drivers. A third of the drivers have never run there. So I've taken a look at all of their road course results from the 6 races in 2025. We're going to start from the right on this one because Connor Zilic has won 4 of the 6 road courses, a 1.8 average finish, 46.3 points per race. Definitely going to be the favorite at the Roval no matter how you slice it in that 88 car. However, things are pretty even with these next couple guys as all 3 of these drivers have had strong top 5 runs and been inside the top 10 at these road courses. Kvapil coming off 3 straight top 10s on the road courses. He has an average finish of 12.8, over 30 points per race at 31.5. Nick Sanchez with 3 top 5s in these 6 road course races coming at Chicago, Sonoma, and Portland, the last one we were just at. 15.1 his average finish, 25.6 his average points per race. Also 3 top 10s for Taylor Gray, including a runner-up finish to Daniel Suarez at Mexico. Almost had a perfect day there, scoring 58 points. His average finish is a 13.6, 28.6 his average points per race. So if you pretend that 88 car does not exist, should be a pretty good battle between these 3 rookies. They've all had highs at these road courses to see who will have the best result at the Roval. Alright, time to take a look at the 4 drivers that I think are going to get eliminated as we cut down from 12 to 8 in the first round of the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. I'll start things off easy. The first of those is going to be Harrison Burton in the 25. Again, it's great for that 25 car to make the playoffs. 12 cars, this is a pretty stacked field. It's hard to imagine him beating out some of these guys. Hopefully they have a deep run and they're competitive going into the Charlotte Roval. I think that's all you can really ask for if you're AM Racing. Next up, I'm going to have Nick Sanchez in the 48 car. This is one I could totally be wrong on considering his success at the road courses this year, but hasn't made a start at the Roval, hasn't made a start at Kansas. I think it's an uphill battle for the 48 car. That was 12th in points going into the playoffs here. These next 2 might get a little bit controversial. First, I'm going to have Taylor Gray in the number 54 car not making the playoffs. He's had good runs, he's always floating around the top 10, but same deal as Sanchez, he hasn't seen 2 of these tracks. This one could be interchangeable between him and Carson Kvapil. I went back and forth on those guys. I just think if there are 3 clean races where they run where they've been running all year, I think the 1 car will slightly edge out the 54. And my 4th elimination is going to be Sammy Smith in the number 8 car. I know it's tough to bet against a Junior Motorsports car this year. I just have a hard time seeing all 4 of them make it into the round of 8. I think someone is going to miss out. The 1 car has had more speed than the 8 car this year. I know he won at Rockingham, Sammy Smith did. Again, this could be a tough gamble. Sammy Smith made the playoffs the past 2 seasons, made it into the round of 8 both years. At the end of the day, though, I'm picking the 1 car over the 8 to advance for Junior Motorsports. One other thing I quickly wanted to touch on here was there is a slight difference between the Owners' Playoffs and the Drivers' Playoffs. The number 19 Joe Gibbs racing car has made the Owners' Playoffs in place of the 25 AM racing car. The 19 is starting tied on the cut line with the number 1 Junior Motorsports entry. There is not a whole lot of information on the number 19's lineup through the playoffs here. I think if they have Eric Almirola run it quite a few times, it could go on a deep run, maybe even make it into the Final Four at Phoenix. But if there are some other drivers who are hopping in there for 1 or 2 races, I have a hard time seeing the 19 car advancing itself out of the round of 12. Going to be interesting to see the driver lineup for that 19 car in the 3 races though. Last but not least, before the video ends, I wanted to pull up this graphic from a video I made in January for the 3rd video on this channel actually. It was my Xfinity Series playoff predictions. 11 for 12 if you see this. I think I did pretty good. Of course, Christian Eckes not making the playoffs over Nick Sanchez. Honestly, after the Truck Series season that Eckes had last year, I thought he was going to be a lock for the playoffs. Struggled adapting to the Xfinity Series car, but has had some good runs towards the second half of the summer. 11 for 12 though, I think that is pretty good. Nonetheless, drop a comment below who you think the 4 drivers getting eliminated in the first round are, and hopefully we have a good round with 3 great races, and the Charlotte Roval is action-packed with a couple guys close to each other on the cut line. It's always boring when, 3 of the guys below the cut line are minus 30, and it's like, okay, it's going to be between these 2 guys on who advances. It's always the best when you have like 3 or 4 guys who are within 5 points of each other that can make things interesting. Thanks for watching.